Have you noticed how much we've started using the word blessed recently? As in, ask someone how she's doing, and instead of saying, I'm fine or I'm doing very well, thank you, she might say, I'm blessed. I take it that what a person means is that she feels as though she is fortunate, all things considered. But in this case, the use of the word is personal. I'm blessed. And perhaps I'm also grateful to God. But there is another and even more important sense of the word. It's not so much about how we're doing or feeling at the moment. It's not even about a sense of gratitude to God, though that is always in the background. No, the other sense has to do with our mission, our vocation, our calling as Christian people to be a blessing to the world. Which begs two important questions. What does it mean to be a blessing to the world? And in fact, are we a blessing to the world? Hello, I'm Stuart Baskin, pastor of First Presbyterian Church of Tyler, Texas, and this is your daily devotional for Tuesday, February 28th, 2023. Yesterday we read the account of God's call to Abraham, and that part of the call included the promise that through him all the families of the earth would be blessed. This promise is repeated to Abraham. For example, immediately after the incident in which Abraham showed his trust in God by his willingness to sacrifice his son Isaac, a messenger of God announces to Abraham, "By myself I have sworn, said the Lord, because you have done this and have not withheld your son, your only son, I will indeed bless you, and I will make your offspring as numerous as the stars of heaven and as the sand that is on the seashore. And your offspring shall possess the gate of their enemies, and by your offspring shall all the nations of the earth gain blessing for themselves, because you have obeyed my voice." Well, so far we don't have a ton to go on about what blessing looks like. We know that for Abraham itself it includes land and descendants, but we also know that this promise is in service to God's larger plan of redeeming humankind, blessing humankind. How do I make this leap? Well, remember, the story of Abraham appears shortly after the story of the flood, after which God wishes to reconstitute the world's population. So instead of promising destruction in the future, God promises instead to bless humankind in the future. And what we just learned in today's reading is that God's plan depends on Abraham's obedience and trust, and by extension, the obedience and trust of his descendants. Although it is not yet stated this way in Genesis, it is evidently God's plan to bless the world on the strength of God's people, first Israel, and now including us in the church. So I wonder if the world around us does see us in this way. Are we in fact a blessing? I was reading this year's Lenten study book the other day on the Lord's Prayer, and the author, Adam Hamilton, wonders this very thing. He says, "Today there are an increasing number of people who have been repelled by Christianity because of Christians they have known or witnessed, acting in ways that did not hallow God's name. They have at times experienced Christians who were unkind, judgmental, self-centered, materialistic, insensitive, racist, and more." Ouch. Quite a contrast to what we would hope people would say about Christians, that they are warm, friendly, welcoming, loving, non-judgmental, self-sacrificing, sensitive, open-minded. This would be a pretty good place to start for a description of what it might look like for the church to be a blessing to the world around us. And at our best we can be, but not when we give in to our fears of others who are different from us, not when we give in to our prejudices about the way others look or what they believe, not when we treat those with whom we have legitimate disagreements as if they were our enemies. No. To be a blessing to the world means actively seeking the well-being of others. It means working to bring joy into their lives. It means acting in ways that signal that we value them just as God values them. That would be something wouldn't it? Tomorrow, let's dig just a little deeper in what it might mean to be a blessing to the world. But for now, may God continue to bless you and keep you in all that you do this day and in all the days ahead.